Did you know not all the ICs are the same? Some ICs have few logic gates and others have billions of transistors. So how the ICs are classified? Let's find out. Let's see IC classification. Integrated circuits are classified based on the number of logic gates and transistors integrated on a single chip. The main classification are SSA, MSA, LSA, VLSA and ULSI. Let's understand each one. SSA stands for Small Scale Integration. These ICs contains approximately 1 to 10 logic gates, up to about 100 transistors. Examples include AND gate, OR gate, NOT IC. SSI ICs are used for performing simple digital logic operations. MSA stands for Medium Scale Integration. These ICs contains 10 to 100 logic gates, hundreds of transistors. Examples include multiplexers, decoders, counters, adders. MSA can perform more complex digital functions than SSA ICs. LSI stands for Large Scale Integration. These ICs contains 100 to 10,000 logic gates, thousands of transistors. Examples of includes memory IC, early microprocessors, digital signal processing circuits. LSI technology made it possible to build much more capable electronic systems on a single chip. VLSI stands for Very Large Scale Integration. These ICs contains more than 10,000 logic gates, millions to billions of transistors. Example: smartphone processors, CPUs, GPUs, microcontrollers, system on a chip. Almost every modern electronic device uses VLSI technology. Ultra large scale integration. These ICs integrate billions of transistors onto a single chip. Example includes AI processor, high performance CPUs, advanced graphic processors, data center chips. ULSA enables today's powerful computing, artificial intelligence, and cloud technologies. Real life example. Think about your smartphone. Years ago, many separated ICs were required to perform different functions. Today, a single VLSA or VLSA chip can include CPU, GPU, memory controller, AI engine, communication modules, all integrated onto a one tiny chip. That's the power of modern IC technology. That's all about integrated circuit classification. Have you ever wondered how an LED blinks automatically or how a buzzer beeps after a few seconds? The secret behind is in the electronic circuit, a tiny electronic component IC. I will explain 555 IC timer in the simplest way possible in this video. The 555 timer IC is one of the most popular integrated circuit in electronics. It is mainly used to generate time delays, generate pulses, produce square wave signals, blink LEDs, generate sounds, control simple electronic circuits. Imagine setting a timer on your phone for 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, it rings. Similarly, the 555 timer IC can wait for a specific time and then perform action like turning on an LED, activating a buzzer, starting a motor. That's why it is called a timer IC. The pin diagram of IC 555 timer. The function of pin 1 is the pin 1 is connected to ground, that it has 0 volts. This completes the circuit. Pin 2. The pin 2 is trigger. This pin starts the timing signal. When its voltage becomes less than one third of the supply voltage, the output becomes high. Example: if voltage is 9 volts, trigger voltage below 3 volts, output becomes high. Third pin output. This is where we get the output signal. It can drive LEDs, buzzers, small relays, digital circuits. Fourth pin reset. This pin forces the output low. The fifth pin control voltage. This pin changes the internal reference voltage. Usually it is not used. A 0.01 microfarad capacitor is connected to ground to reduce noise. The sixth pin threshold. This pin monitors capacitor voltage. When the voltage becomes greater than 2/3 of VCC, the output becomes low. Seventh pin discharge. This pin connects to an internal transistor. When output becomes low, this transistor turns on and discharges the capacitor. 8th pin VCC power supply works from about 4.5 volts to 16 volts for the standard NA555 timer. Inside the IC, there are three equal value of resistors connected in a series as a voltage divider. These resistors create two reference voltages, 1 by third VCC, 2 by third VCC. These reference voltages are used by two internal comparators to decide when the output changes state. Now let's see what is happening inside the 555 timer IC. Don't worry if this block diagram looks complicated. It's actually made up of just 5 main parts. And once you understand these, you will know how the entire IC works. Let's see first the three resistors. Inside the IC, there are three equal value resistors connected in series between VCC and ground. These resistors divided the supply voltage into three equal parts. For example, if we give the IC 9 volts, the first point becomes 6 volts, 2 by third of VCC, and the second point becomes 3 volts, 1 by third of VCC. Think of these as two important checkpoints. The IC continuously compares the input voltage with these two reference voltages. That's why these three resistors are so important. The second internal component, upper comparator. Now look at the upper comparator. One input is fixed at 2 by third VCC from the resistor network. The other input comes from the threshold pin. That pin is sixth pin. Its job very simple. It keeps asking, how has the threshold voltage become greater than 2 by third voltage? If the answer is yes, it immediately sends a signal to reset the flip-flop. As a result, the output becomes low and the discharge transistor turns on. Remember, threshold above 2 by third VCC means output low. Now let's move to the lower comparator. One input is fixed at 1 by third VCC. The other input comes from the second pin, that is trigger pin. Its question is exactly opposite. Has the trigger voltage gone below 1 by third VCC? If yes, it sends a set signal to the flip-flop. Immediately, the output becomes high and the discharge transistor turns off. So, remember, trigger below 1 by third VCC means output high. Now, both comparators send their signal to the SR flip-flop. We can think of the flip-flop like a memory switch. If it receives a set signal, it remembers the state and makes the output high. If it receives a reset signal, it changes the output to low. Even after the comparator signal disappears, the flip-flop remembers the last state until another command arrives. That's why the output remains stable. Finally comes the discharge transistor connected to pin 7. Its only job is to empty the capacitor. When the output is low, this transistor turns on, providing a path to ground. The timing capacitor quickly discharges. When the output becomes high, the transistor turns off, allowing the capacitor to change gain through the external resistor. This charging and discharging process is what creates the timer delay or oscillation. If this video helped you understand the IC Tablefy timer, please like, share and subscribe to Electronic Explorer channel. Also comment on which electronic component would you like to learn on next video. Happy learning.